Hello everyone, good afternoon. This is Sage live from the 𝐊𝐶𝐞 studios. It's lunchtime here in Sydney and you know what that means. It's time for the Mid-Market Pulse show. So let us zoom our lens now into the Australian share market's performance midway through the day. The Australian shares continue to trade higher by the afternoon, led by gains in the energy and mining stocks, and the firm cues from the global peers also supported the market's rally, and investors seem to have shrugged off fears over the Delta coronavirus variant and shifted their focus to the corporate earnings season. The S&P ASX 200 was trading higher by 0.7% by the lunchtime, and early today the index opened higher, tracking strong cues from Wall Street and rallied as much as 0.9%. And on the COVID front, the state of New South Wales recorded 124 new locally acquired COVID-19 cases in the past 24 hours. This was the highest daily number of new infections since the current Delta variant outbreak began on June 16th. And meanwhile, the state of Victoria registered 26 cases in the past 24 hours. Let's move on now to the sectoral front. 7 of the 11 sectors were trading in green, and energy was the best performer with 2.2% gains, followed by materials, which rose 1.9%. And among others, financial, utilities, telecom and industrial stocks were trading higher with modest gains. And on the flip side, healthcare was the worst performer, down 0.3%. And some of the other sectors that witnessed selling pressure included consumer staples, information technology and consumer discretionary. Let's now turn our attention to the biggest gainers and losers that captured the investors' attention by the mid-market session. The mineral exploration firm Orocobre was the top percentage gainer on the ASX pack, rising nearly 11%, and some of the other notable gainers were miner Pilbara Minerals, multinational contractor CIMIC Group, resource company Lynas Rare Earths, and on the flip side, fintech firm Zip was the top loser on the ASX, falling over 5%. Some of the other worst performers include provider of cloud-based wagering platform PointsBet Holdings, retailer Kogan, and education organiser IDP Education, and tech firm Codan. On this note, let us shift our focus now to the stocks that are creating the buzz today. Let us take a look at the first company. Shares of the software developer Nuix were trading higher by 1.5%, reaching $2.60 Australian. The tech firm is likely to drop out of the ASX 200 index just 6 months after it was added to the pack. The company has lost more than half its value since joining the benchmark index. And let us now take a look at the next company. Shares of buy now, pay later firm Zip surged over 3%, reaching $7.82 Australian after the company reported strong earnings for June quarter, and the digital payments facilitator saw its revenue surging 104% in the fourth quarter of 2021, and the quarterly transaction volume rose 116% on a year-on-year basis, and the total customer numbers spiked 87%. The company, however, did not release a cash flow statement or earnings guidance for the full year. It will issue full year results in August. And taking a look at the shares of the world's biggest miner, BHP, extended the rally for the second session and rose 3% on a deal with Elon Musk's Tesla. The company has reportedly inked a pact to supply electric vehicle maker Tesla with nickel from its Nickel West asset in Western Australia. Commenting on the development, BHP Chief Commercial Officer Vandita Pant said the company is delighted to collaborate with Tesla to make the battery supply chain more sustainable through BHP's shared focus on technology and innovation. Let us now take a look at the next company making the news today. Evolution Mining shares have entered a trading halt pending an announcement. The company has entered into an agreement with ASX-listed rival Northern Star Resources to acquire its assets for 400 million Australian dollars. The miner will acquire 100% stake in the Kundana operations and 51% interest in the East Kundana joint venture. And besides, it will also acquire 100% interest in certain tenements comprising the Carbine project and a 75% interest in the West Kundana joint venture. The gold miner Newcrest Mining shares traded marginally higher after the company released quarterly business updates, and the company has reported gold production of 542,000 ounces and copper production of 38,000 tonnes in June quarter of 2021. It also set a goal of net zero carbon emissions by 2050. Let's move on now to the next ASX listed share. The share price of the Bank of Queensland climbed 1.4%, reaching $8.97 Australian after the lender appointed former ME Bank Director Deborah Kears to its board of directors, and the development came following the successful acquisition of ME Bank. And now, before we look at some more ASX listed shares that are in the news today, it's time for a short break. Good afternoon, welcome back viewers. Sage here, you're watching 𝐶𝐞 TV live from Sydney. This is the mid-market pulse. Let us now take a look at the next company. The shares of Lynas Rare Earths jumped 5.5% to $6.21 Australian after the miner secured a 14.8 million Australian dollar grant by the Australian government. The grant will enable Lynas to commercialise an industry-free rare earth carbonate refining process that has been developed by our in-house research and development team, and that is a 14.8 million grant offered by the Australian government. And moving on now to the next shares of software firm Altium extended losses for the fourth straight session, falling over 1% to $32.44 Australian. The brokerage firm RBC has downgraded Altium back to underperform, and it sits below the financial year 2021 guidance and financial year 2022 street estimates. The stock has witnessed selling pressure since the start of this week after the company failed to secure a takeover bid from US peer Autodesk Inc. And now let us take a look at the next company making the big news today. The share price of energy firm Santos has risen nearly 3%, reaching $6.75 Australian. The oil and gas major has modestly upgraded its full year guidance for production and sales volumes and lowered the range for production costs. And meanwhile, internet and telecom service provider Swoop Holdings has reportedly completed the acquisition of 100% of WAN Solutions, or Beam Internet, and Beam Internet is a South Australian-based wireless broadband provider. And taking a look at the next company, shares of engineering contractor CIMIC Group extended the rally for the second day, rising as much as 4.7%, reaching $20.78 Australian. The multinational contractor on Wednesday released half-yearly earnings report, and the group revenue rose 10.6% for the 6 months ended 30th June 2021. Also from the same industry, Australian construction material manufacturer Adbri saw its shares rising over 1% to $3.47 Australian on a deal with Cenex, and the company has reportedly inked a long-term gas deal with the natural gas producer Cenex. As part of the deal, Cenex has agreed to supply up to 11 petajoules of natural gas to support Adbri's South Australian manufacturing network. And the wireless technology company 𝐊𝐴 traded higher by 3% to 64 cents on signing a deal with Samsung. The company, through its subsidiary 𝐊𝐴 Wireless, has signed a $11.6 million Australian dollar deal with Korean-based electronics company Samsung Electronics, and 𝐊𝐴 will be supplying a network elements to Samsung for delivery to a telecommunications carrier client of Samsung's for public safety use. Let's move on to the next ASX listed company on our list today. Shares of PharmAust, a clinical stage biotechnology firm, dropped over 1%, down to 9.5 cents, and PharmAust has filed a patent application for the use of the main ingredient, monopantel, in a variety of viral diseases. The patent corporation treaty patent covers the use of monopantel and other aminocetonitriol derivatives as antiviral agents. And thanks for joining us on that report. But that's all for now. Stay tuned with 𝐶𝐞 TV for more live market updates. We'll be back with more news on the markets, economy and diverse themes and sectors. Sage signing off.